Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and believe it or not, we are back with what should hopefully become, again, our weekly painting progress. Or at least somewhat weekly, until we settle back into a routine. Some of the models that are in this week's video are things that were probably started before we even went to Japan, so we're talking probably around April or May, and they're just now finished. But honestly, I didn't want to even pick up a brush after I got home, and it just took me a lot of willpower to finish up some of the stuff that I had sitting around. But we persevered, we got them done, and some are obviously going to be better than others, like this leftover boxer from War Games Atlantic. He has no pupils. That needs to be fixed. But from a distance, it's okay, I guess. That's easily remedied. I probably should have given him 2 butterfly knives. It would have been more appropriate. But it is what it is, and he's going to have his... Is that like a bit of flat? I don't even think that's a clip. I think that's like a mess on the bottom of the gun. Maybe it is a clip. I can't tell. But he's finished enough, other than his eyes, which we'll fix back up. And at least from a distance, it's not too bad. Alright. Next up in our mediocrely painted models is an Avatars of War female Slayer. And I can't tell if that's supposed to be... I think she's supposed to have earrings, and I didn't do a good job there. And it just all kind of bled together. I used a really crummy primer, and I feel like it just glossed over a lot of the details. Some of it you can see better than other spots. She gets the job done. I think we did a topless version too. Not that you can tell where her top actually is, but it's okay. I think that she's just as tall as the Chinese boxer there. That's kind of funny. Alright, what else do we have? We've got one of the Orgoth from Privateer's War Machine Mark IV. So this guy is actually one of their 3D printed models. And I gotta say, even though he's 3D printed, the quality is there. They definitely were nice casts. Or prints, I should say. And they got a good heft to them. Now, I don't know what I did with his original base, but somehow or other, despite me not really having many other side models anymore, I have a ton of the bases. Like, more bases than I even had figures for the game. I still have some laying around. Maybe I should dig those out. Anyway, he's a cool model. I like him. I have no idea what the back of his body is supposed to look like, painted. So we just kind of rolled with it. I had no actual matte. All I have is semi-gloss sealers. We'll have to pick some of those up. He's quite tall as well. Let's see other quite tall models. I did the first of my city-state hoplites. I didn't do a very good job on the shield, you can see. But from a distance, I think it'll be okay. I wanted to really emphasize he's got that metallic hand. I like that. Now I know it's super zoomed in. From a distance, I think it'll work okay. It's an odd pose with his head, but that's more my fault. If that's actually the head that's supposed to be on that body. I guess that's one of my kind of criticisms lately with the Conquest stuff. As much as I enjoy the models and just their uniqueness in terms of what they present on the table, at their scale, a lot of them lately feel like there's a lot less options. I feel like earlier kits, there was a little bit more flexibility in terms of how you put them together. But like the Valkyries, for example, while they look nice, I just didn't like the fact that you couldn't really mix the parts up. It was like one head, one body, that's the way you're going to do it. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But there's been plenty of other good kits from them, so I can't complain too much. Alright, a random Artisan Guild. I want to say this is from their Draugr release, or some kind of an Undead, but this is, I forgot, he looks like a single piece sculpt, but he's actually got the traditional modular hands that Artisan Guild always has. I don't know why he's got green skin. Maybe all the algae in the water has colored him funky. Looks okay from a distance. He's a good-sized model, and especially if you want to mix him up with other things. With a Frostgrave model, for example. He's going to be quite the imposing enemy. The stuff from Artisan Guild does tend to err a little on the larger side. I mean, he is kind of the boss hero epic model, at least on foot, for the release that he came from. It may have been like a year or so ago at least. You can see, I mean, he matches up pretty well size-wise with the Hoplite here. But neither of them are going to be as big as the Chieftain. I did finally finish my Wadroon Chieftain. It's kind of boring, but I feel like the colors at least are pretty solid. Yes, he's very glossy for a semi-gloss finish, but it's alright. I really liked this model. It would have been cool to have him in an action pose with that sword ready to swing. I mean, he's really big. I feel like he's got a good head over the hoplite here. These two can be equals. Is he as big as the matriarch? I believe that was her name. Nope, she is taller. He's definitely stockier, though. It's nice to see that their armor somewhat matches, and that was completely unintentional. I painted them at completely different times and never bothered to even look at her. And the skin tones match, too, for the most part. She's a little darker skinned than he is, but my Wadroon are like a rainbow of colors at this point anyway, so what's a little more, right? A couple other Conquest heroes. I really like the hero models, especially when they're in plastic like those two were. The resins are nice, though. Am I going to pick up the new Cavalry or the Artisan Special Founders exclusive? I'm not sure. We'll have to think about that. Alright, what else? I have been slowly plugging away at my Arkman's backlog, and I did try to paint Were Garurumon here, which wasn't the easiest because there's a million different variations on how he's supposed to look. Traditionally, he's supposed to have magenta-y, purple-looking claws, but then there's like all sorts of other people doing it in semi-official illustrations with other colors. The wristbands, I've seen both silver and gold knuckles he's wearing. I've seen him with earrings on one side or both sides. I mean, just all sorts of little issues like that. I did not do the best job on this. I got tired of messing with him. For whatever reason, the paints were not cooperating again. This was that really cruddy primer that I was using at the time, and that can's dead. It was the same can that I primed the Avatars of War Slayer girl with. So thankfully, that's the end of that can. We at least put it to good use while we had it. We'll definitely get some better stuff. But I love the fact that Arkman's just continuing to plug away with all of the various Digimon lines, and it looks like we're finally going to get to see my favorite Grace Novamon sometime in the future. So I'm going to be looking forward to that. How that's going to be done, good luck. I have no idea. I was thinking hopefully the limbs are going to be kind of touching, connecting in some way, because it's got really thin parts, and those thin parts are not fun to remove supports from. Like this guy. What is this, Scizor? I feel like that's Scizor, isn't it? It's another Arkman sculpting. Again, just like the Digimon, he's been plugging away at doing the Pokemons. And if you're interested in any of these, I know he's got them all available too. At least the ones that are made so far. I kind of messed up the eyes. Do I want to go back and fix them? Not particularly. I probably should have done some shading with the wings too. I guess there's always time for that. I swear I'd had some blue ink somewhere and I can't find it. So maybe I need to get some blue ink, because I think that would really help. I feel like every time I try to thin down a blue paint, it just makes a big splotchy mess, and obviously I did not do the best job of removing those supports. That's just me. Now, in the biggest, happiest news of the season, almost, the fact that we're actually going to be seeing the Gambler's Chest from Kingdom Death. I already paid my shipping. I don't know if you guys have. I am absolutely looking forward to seeing that stuff. I mean, we've seen those models for years now, literally some of them. Personally, I'm really looking forward to the Crimson Croc armor set. That's probably the newest stuff that we haven't really seen anything of. And to get things kicked into high gear, it's time to finish up a whole lot of Kingdom Death models. And we'll start with, I got my dad to actually go back and paint another of the pinups. So he went and did the Summer Twilight pinup and had all sorts of lovely comments trying to paint those fishnets, and I absolutely agree with him. That looked like an absolute case of misery, but I feel like he did a good job. He persevered, and he did get her finished, which is more than I could say for my... I don't even want to consider how many unfinished Kingdom Death models I've got laying around. A lot. But she's done. Sorry, I banged the camera there. I was going to grab the mini version of her that I did a while back. Again, not the best job either. But if you're interested in doing a better job than both of us, which I'm sure some of you out there could absolutely do, and I'd love to see it, they're both actually still available, I know, right now on the Kingdom Death website, because I just ordered that gunboard model, which looked really cool and is already gone too. But yeah, so kudos to my dad for finishing another. I've got plenty more. I'm not sure which one I will inflict on him yet. Maybe I'll let you guys decide if you want to hit us up on Discord and suggest it there. I have a couple that are in need to be finished. And finally, I did a poorly done Summer Aya that I have broken that stupid spear on. I knew as soon as I saw this model that was going to be an issue. I just knew it was going to be a problem. I didn't even bother with her face. That's sad. I usually try to do that stuff too. The lighting isn't the greatest, but I did try to differentiate between the tentacles and the tongue and the rest of the body, but it's not really coming up clearly, but that's okay. Like I said, not the best paint job, not my proudest moment, but I'm sick of seeing this model laying around in front of me, so that's why she was the first. And I'm sure she will not be the last. So hopefully next week we're going to get some more stuff done. And like I said, if you guys have any suggestions, by all means, hit me up on Discord. Did I say Twitter earlier? I don't like Twitter. Never have. If you want to get on Discord with me, that's like one of, I guess, the only and few perks I like to offer through the Patreon stuff, at least until I come up with something more interesting. You want to nag me? Come and join me. It's cheap. We'll have a link, as always, down below. In fact, we'll have links to all this stuff down below. So, overall... Oh, no, forgot Scizor. I think that's Scizor. That feels like the right name. Isn't it? I don't know. I'm rambling. Anyway, I feel like that's a pretty decent haul. Hopefully we'll see some stuff from Sparkle Trout as well, because I know he didn't lift a paintbrush almost the entire time I was in Japan. I absolutely was going through withdrawals, not being able to paint stuff, but hopefully we will get to show off the piles of books, and I have got a serious backlog of stuff needing to be filmed and shown off, so hopefully we'll get those videos rolling. And as always, if you guys have any questions or anything, by all means, feel free to hit me up, and we will have those links for you down below. So with that said, then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye!